Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about emotional abandonment. What is that? What is the difference between emotional abandonment and physical abandonment, and can it feel the same? Watch this video. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please hit the little subscribe button, the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. Today, I want to dive into this very important subject. I am in the middle of building this mini course about abandonment wounds and trauma bonds. And this topic came up over and over when I was discussing this with a couple of friends. And this idea of emotional abandonment is so underrated and so overly done. So I want to talk about it. Emotional abandonment, in my opinion, is as painful or sometimes more complicated than physical abandonment. And this is what I mean. When someone physically abandons you, you're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling pain because they are gone. They have left, right? It's clear. It doesn't make it any better, but it makes it clear. When someone emotionally abandons you, it's very covert and undercover. So oftentimes we compound our pain because we question what we're feeling as usual. We don't trust it because it's like, wait a minute, the person's still in my house, but I feel like they're kind of ignoring me or they're not really hearing me. I'm not getting mirrored. Are they really doing that? There's no way someone's really doing that, right? Okay, so what's wrong? This is then what we do. What's wrong with me? That am I not interesting? Did they not hear me? Are they mad at me? Shame sets in. What did I do wrong to get them to ignore me? It goes on and on and on and on and on, right? But here's the pain about it. Someone is ignoring you, which already is traumatic, right? When you feel, wait, I'm not being seen or heard. Why? What did I do wrong? We always blame ourselves because when we're children, no one can be wrong other than us because our parents are God, and we forget to upgrade that often. So when you're in a house, let's say with your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, someone, and you're talking, you're saying something, you're excited about something, and someone's literally like, yeah, sure. Or they're passive aggressive, like, oh yeah, that sounds great, or I don't have time, or I don't care, or just present but no reaction. That is completely emotional abandonment. And what we do is we question, wait, why is this happening? How is this happening? Am I wrong about this happening? So we are crazy making ourselves or gaslighting ourselves into saying, maybe I'm just wrong about that. What's wrong? Why do I feel so off with this experience? And what I want you to know is it's a very real thing. The reason you feel so off is because it is a form of abuse. When you're being emotionally abandoned, someone is consciously usually making you feel unsettled, insecure, not significant. And they're not doing it because you're not significant. They're doing it because they're not feeling so great. There's something wrong with a person who can't say to you, I'm just not in the mood right now. Let's talk later. Or, you know what, don't take this personally. I just need some space. That's a boundary issue within them. It is not your fault. It is not your problem. And the reason I'm building a whole course around this is because what happens when we are children who are emotionally abandoned is we fall into trauma bonds. And let me tell you why. Because your original relationship is a trauma bond. This is what I mean. If your relationship with your primary caregiver looks something like this, and by the way, it doesn't have to be their fault or on purpose. It could be because your mother or father is all of a sudden going through a divorce, all of a sudden losing a job, all of a sudden going through menopause, all of a sudden having really severe PMS, all of a sudden their house burned down, all of a sudden they lost their job, all of a sudden their new boyfriend broke up with them. Who knows what it is? But our parents are not always emotionally consistent. And when that happens, our attachment to them may not be consistent. I should also say, before I mention what it looks like, it can also look like you have a narcissistic parent or an alcoholic parent who literally does abuse the system, meaning they literally choose things over you. They literally do gaslight you on purpose. So whether it's on purpose or not, I should mention, it looks the same and it feels the same. And this is what it looks like. hey mom, I just got home from school and I had the best day and da da da. Now mom's going through something and she's like, normally, oh my God, honey, tell me all about it. How was your day? I love you so much. Blah, blah, blah. But this particular day, I don't have time. I don't have time. Go to your room. Wow, that's not consistent. What did I do wrong? It creates hypervigilance. It creates fight, flight, or freeze. It creates self-doubt. It creates this inconsistent emotional connection where you're worried. Now, if the parent doesn't come and repair that, and you're left alone for too long thinking what could be wrong, there is an injury. And then you go to dinner and nothing's talked about. And mom's kind of still quiet, but now she's catering to you again. Oh, sorry, what was that? How was your day? You already have an injury. Let's say that happens, and then at dinner, mom says, honey, I'm so sorry. That was totally my fault. I had a bad day. This is what happened. This is what happened. Oh, it's not about you. That still feels like a secure attachment. It can be so slight and so profound. Another example, when you're at your house, you're having a great Sunday, and then all of a sudden dad starts drinking and starts going crazy. And you're like, inconsistent attachment, insecure attachment. Later, dad sobers up like nothing happened. That was not repaired properly. Now you have a bit of a trauma bond. What does that mean? It means now I have to do things to see if dad loves me or not. I have to do things to earn love. I'm not sure how to get that consistent connection. So now I have to do this sort of reward punishment game with them. That is traumatic bonding. That's not consistent repaired bonding. That is sometimes I'm okay, sometimes I'm not. What happens from that experience is we oftentimes are attracted to people that we subconsciously will have the same pattern with, but we consciously think it's going to be different. So it's impossible to attract from a point of healing when you haven't healed the original wound. So what often happens is we get into relationships with people who are either addicts or, let's say, have some toxic personality traits, who also often have abandonment wounds. And what that looks like is control, manipulation, codependency, all these things. So we get in this relationship and we're so emotionally connected. You know, most people get this wrong. They think, oh my God, my partner's emotionally available. This is going to be healthy. But this is what happens if you have unhealed abandonment wounds. You get into this really intense emotional relationship. Everything's amazing. And then you start to have some autonomy and do your own thing. And your partner's like, excuse me, what? And you start to get that old fear back of abandonment. You say, oh no, I have to abandon myself to cater to this, to not lose that connection. The connection trauma, when we have abandonment wounds, is huge. We must stay connected at all times or that old wound will come back. And in doing that, what do? We abandon the self. So in this course that I'm creating, it is all about not betraying your truth to stay connected to another due to abandonment wounding. When we have abandonment wounds and we fall into trauma bonds, we are re-traumatizing ourselves over and over again when we abandon ourselves for the relationship that's not even healthy. And oftentimes people will come to me and say, how do I know what a healthy relationship even looks like or feels like? I've never seen it. And I say, this is where our work begins. If you're one of these people, I suggest you look at my links below. My abandonment course will be coming out very, very soon. In the meantime, I have a weekly newsletter that's going to be talking about it up until the launch. So there is a lot of free support coming your way. Abandonment wounds can be healed, but they will never be healed in a trauma bond. And we will never have extremely successful, healthy relationships unless we have that with ourself, meaning our own secure attachment to self, because we've healed these abandonment wounds and we've stopped abandoning ourselves. Check out the links below. If you guys want some place to start before this course comes out, please check out my emotional rehab program. It is open right now. All those links are below. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I'll be seeing you soon.